Well, hello and welcome to Time Wrap. Your support is the only thing that makes this show possible. You can do that by visiting my website, becoming a Patreon, or simply sharing this episode to others. We try to understand what depression is only through metaphors and sayings. Half the purpose of art is to describe such iconic stages. Depression का कोई physical form नहीं है. You can only explain it through the limited power of the verbal language. So, depression है क्या? It's a slow way of being dead. It's doing less, thinking less, and feeling less. And medication सिर्फ डिप्रेशन के सिम्टम्स को शट ऑफ करती हैं, उसे फिक्स नहीं करती. Be it Prozac or in case of Indians alcohol or short-term relationships. In depression, the only reason not to hurt ourselves is to not hurt others. Even if हमारी सारी feelings shut off हो जाए, we would still think for the people we love in our life. 1 in every 4 person suffers through depression. इसका मतलब है कि तुम्हारी फैमिली में भी ऐसा कोई पर्सन होगा who at this very moment is depressed. Now that person might process this disease in their own unique ways. Question is कि हमारे कल्चर में या हमारी सोसाइटी में what are the mechanisms that we have to fight depression? Fact is कि हम डिप्रेशन के बारे में बात तक नहीं करते हैं. Some of us don't even think it's real. So depression है क्या? इसका क्योर क्या है? Why is it so tough for people to talk about it? Why is it a part of being human in the first place? Now humans are complex beings. We have this system of regulating our emotions. Our consciousness is made up of 100 billion neurons, all connected to one another. And जैसे भी stimulus हमें मिलता है in our lives, the connection changes itself. It grows. After stressful events in our lives due to anything, ऐसा हो सकता है कि we feel grief or sadness. But अगर वो constant हो जाए, if that switch remains on for more than 15 days, for more than 2 weeks, then enters clinical depression. We experience all kinds of mood. Mood is adaptive to our life. In depression, the system breaks and all we experience is sadness. हम normally अपनी feelings को shut off कर देते हैं. Shutting off our feelings strengthens depression. इन प्राइमल टाइम्स मतलब आज से हज़ारों साल पहले जब मॉडर्न ह्यूमंस का एवोल्यूशन हो रहा था, द लेवल ऑफ आवर इंटेलिजेंस सॉ एन एनॉर्मस राइज. टू सर्वाइव बेटर ऑन अर्थ आवर ब्रेन्स इवॉल्व्ड एंड क्रिएटेड मैकेनिज्म टू हैंडल एंड प्रोसेस स्ट्रेस. अब चाहे वो स्ट्रेस किसी भी चीज़ का हो, फ्रॉम फाइंडिंग फूड टू एस्केपिंग प्रेडेटर्स, हमें ये मैकेनिज्म्स हमेशा से ऑन नहीं चाहिए थे बिकॉज देयर वाज़न्ट ऑलवेज अ नीड for stress mechanisms to be turned on. Danger wasn't always around and because we were social animals, हम communities में and herds में, हम tribes में रहते थे, we didn't need these mechanisms to be turned on all the time. हमारी intelligence sophisticated होती चली गई and we needed to give our brain some time out, or under constant stress it will break. So क्या depression stress का by product है? The answer is yes. स्ट्रेस की वजह से ही डिप्रेशन होता है एंड दिस स्ट्रेस कैन बी ऑफ एनी काइंड, फ्रॉम द प्रेशर ऑफ क्रैकिंग एन एग्ज़ाम टू ऑफिस स्ट्रेस. कोई भी एक ट्रॉमेटिक इंसिडेंट से लेकर कॉन्स्टेंट अब्यूज़, सोशल आइसोलेशन, ब्रेकअप्स, इवन पैचअप्स, फ्रॉम लूजिंग अ पर्सन टू पर्सनल लॉस, स्ट्रेस कैन बी ऑफ एनी काइंड. एंड इन प्राइमल टाइम्स अगर तुम्हें तुम्हारी ट्राइब से ना निकाला जा रहा हो, if you have food to eat, और अगर किसी भी चीज़ से मरने का खतरा ना हो, then everything was okay. The switch was turned off. But अब circumstances different है. Now we live in a more chaotic world and इस social media की connected world में isolation अपनी human history के all time peak पर है. हाँ, population 7 billion क्यों ना हो, socially we are more isolated than ever. According to Emily Dickinson, depression is like any other disease. which we don't even talk about. इसका क्योर तो क्या ही मिलेगा. आइसोलेशन इतना बड़ा फैक्टर है कि इन 70% केसेस थेरेपी सीम्स टू वर्क. ओनली टॉकिंग अबाउट इट वर्क्स. टॉकिंग अबाउट योर इश्यूज cures this disease, but still we don't, because being strong is killing us. Every 30 seconds someone in the world commits suicide. हमारे कल्चर में एक मेंटालिटी फॉर्म हो गई है. In our culture, being strong means being silent and taking all the hits that life throws at us alone. We weren't designed to go through life alone. Having feelings isn't being weak, it's being human. And rejecting humanity makes us feel void. अगर हम किसी के सामने रोए, if we cry in front of someone, अगर हम किसी के सामने अपनी feelings share करें, then to us it is a sign of weakness. Most of us think that being vulnerable or showing vulnerability is a bad sign, a sign of weakness. But instead, it's a sign of growth. Now, in the description is a link. It's a TED Talk by Brené Brown, a researcher. And in the talk, she talks about vulnerability and gives an interesting perspective about it. Give it a listen. So now we know that depression is a system failure in our mechanism to handle stress. But इसका क्योर क्या है? 70% of the cases improve by therapy and medication. Depression का क्योर is philosophical. Philosophy cures depression. A single movie, a single phone call, a single conversation, a single effort can trigger this cure in our brains. Now, if you as a person want to save someone from this hole, then a single act can change everything. Now, personally, I was depressed for a long time. Maybe you were too, or maybe you are at this moment while listening to this podcast. A person who I won't name became a part of my life. I remember that I texted that person because of an interstellar post on their Instagram stories. I totally remember that it was about Murphy's Law. Whatever can happen, will happen. Life is a circle, and love is the only thing that transcends through the fabric of space and time. Life is beautiful, it's messy, always unpredictable, but it's always going to be okay. All you need to do is to create a system, a support system to help you through it. But if your burden gets too heavy, then always ask for help. Go to the limits of your longing. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep on going. No feeling is final. Thank you so much for listening.